And you know, I met Rob at an air show 12 years ago. I was a volunteer at the air show, and I ran into him, he ran into me, and I actually took him flying first. He wanted to see how I flew. So he said I passed the test. I do have a high-performance airplane. I fly coast to coast, and sometimes I just go to Camarillo to go shoe shopping. You can avoid all the traffic, ladies. If you get in your airplane, you go above the 210 freeway, right through downtown LA, you land at Camarillo. It's across the street. You can go shoe shopping, get back in your airplane, and be back in, what, 20 minutes? It's totally cool. So this, like I mentioned before, this was a Christmas gift that Rob is flying, this airplane he gave to me.
I'm supposed to do tumbling there, so maybe we ought to try a tumble for our friends at San Bernardino.
You can see his tumble. And the other airplane that Rob flew that many of you were familiar with, the Zlin 50. That plane you can tumble and quite a bit. This one is a little bit harder to do. And there goes the tumble. And you heard Rob.
Hey, baby, you want one more?
Sorry. He's flying right into the wind there. You know, Rob is probably not the oldest air show pilot out there, but very close to it. He's almost 77 years old. He acts like he's 7 years old. And you know, he has to have cookies before he goes to sleep and a glass of milk every night. He's not broken that tradition since I've known him for the last 13 years.
So the configuration, the cockpit configuration of the Zlin, in contrast to the other aircraft that are performing, the military trainers, are mostly tandem. In this case, they're side-by-side seating.
Miles per hour. So it weighs 2,000 pounds. So it's a heavy plane for doing aerobatics. And actually, Rob is the only one worldwide doing aerobatics in the Zlin 142, which is a military trainer. So the Zlin factory is making these airplanes, and they mostly go to military bases for pilots to train before they fly jets.
Well, you know, and that's what we've been saying this afternoon about many of the other vintage military trainers that are performing in the air show. They're heavy, they're underpowered, but that's what makes them excellent training aircraft.
Right.
And really, in this case, it's no different because it forces the pilot to not rely on power, but to rely on aerodynamics, flying the wing. It teaches them how to manage their energy.
Absolutely. And that's what makes it a real easy plane to fly. Once you learn to fly this, your next level up becomes easier. So Rob can probably have you do that maneuver once you learn to fly in a couple of hours. It's not that hard. So it's a lot of fun. My first maneuver that I learned to do with Rob was loops. What you see him do here right now. And that is actually a cancer ribbon that Rob does for those that we've lost. And he'll talk to us when he gets a chance, but right now he's working really hard. Some of the maneuvers he pulls here, about 5 G's, so 5 times his body weight. So he feels like, you know, if he weighs 225 pounds, he'll feel like he weighs a ton. But it's a very graceful plane to fly, very easy to fly. It's got a seat next to it, so he's taking a lot of people flying and kids, and he's always trying to encourage people to go into aviation because there's a shortage of pilots right now. And there's a lot of schools that are paying for your tuitions to become a pilot. And that's just not for the guys, it's for the gals too. We have a lot of female pilots.
Good day for a roll.
We are ready for a couple of rolls, Rob. And this airplane So it's titanium landing gear, but aluminum frame. So here comes Rob lining up again. He's going to do another tumble for you. And after Rob lands, he's going to come around in the golf cart and sign autographs. I hope you heard that. I'm sorry. I'm trying as hard as I can over the music. Okay, there he goes, climbing up into the tumble. And flip. And you heard Rob. He's having a great.
Back to the air, boss.
Okay, honey, he's going to be landing back here pretty soon. And he'll come around, bring the kids over to the fence, what we call the flight line.